Alright, went into this season, the South Pacific season, expecting to really like Rick, the cattle rancher guy or whatever he is. But I don't know if I like him or not. He doesn't really do anything. Can somebody poke him with a stick and see if he's still alive? Hey Survivor geeks, how are you? I wanted to, real quick before I talk about Survivor, I want to talk about another show that I really like. Probably my other favorite show is The Amazing Race. Sometimes I actually like it better than I like Survivor. The reason I brought it up is because Ethan and Jenna were on there. You know, Ethan, the guy who won Survivor Africa, and Jenna, who won Survivor Amazon. I wasn't sure if I wanted to root for them or not because I never have been able to stand Jenna, but I like Ethan a lot, so I was kind of rooting for him, I guess. But they got eliminated like right away, so yeah, they didn't last very long. So, but I don't know, it still looks like a pretty good season. There's 2 or 3 teams that I like, but anyway, whatever. We need to talk about Survivor, right? First of all, I want to talk about you know, when Ozzy's team, I don't know the team name, so when Ozzy's team got their thing saying about going to Redemption Island for the duel, everybody's just kind of standing around. Nobody really wants to go, and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. Any opportunity something like that comes up, grab it. You know, because you're going to find out stuff that you know, other tribe mates might not tell you if you go there. You're going to maybe see stuff going on in the other tribe that you might be able to use later on. You never know. I mean, why not? Besides that, what else have you got to do, right? You'd just rather sit around in your stupid hut smelling each other's armpits, or go watch a duel. I know these duels aren't always that exciting. This wasn't that great a challenge. It was just little tables with, they tried to throw beanbags on them. It wasn't that great of a challenge, but you know, it was so close. Christina got ahead for a while, then Papa Bear started catching up. It was really close. But in the end, Christina won. She had a nice, really little run there too, like 4 or 5 in a row, and I thought she was just going to smoke the guy. And then I don't know if she got overconfident or underconfident or what exactly happened, but she kind of threw herself off, I think, and Papa Bear almost caught up, but Papa Bear's gone. No more Papa Bear on Survivor. Didn't really like him or dislike him. I don't know. I didn't really have any feelings about him, so I wasn't sure if I really cared. But I wanted to mention this real quick. Jim and Cochran are starting to talk about trying to topple Ozzy's alliance. I'm really happy about this. I mean, I like Ozzy a lot, but I don't really want to see him get that far. Same with Coach. As I talked about last season, I just don't like to see people who have already had their chance to win. Now, the reason I ended up being happy that Boston Rob won is because people just kind of let him win. I mean, they just kind of gave up and they let him win. But now that we've got people actually wanting to get Ozzy out of there, I really want to see these people succeed. And I didn't really like Jim that much before. I'm starting to like him a little bit now. I still don't really like his personality, but he seems like he and Cochran both are kind of playing the game the way I would. I'd keep Ozzy around, but I would find a way to get rid of somebody that he's close to. So I think that it was perfect that they're targeting, what's her face? You think Elise? Yeah, I think even though Elise is very cute, and I really like her, just for the eye candy, if nothing else. But you know, somebody's got to go, so why not? I want to see people, you know, actually do something about these returning players and trying to get them out of the game, or at least, you know, ruining their game plans. And good for Don for catching on that Ozzy does seem to be running things. He doesn't really want people strategizing. Good for her for figuring that out and coming along with Cochran and Jim. My big concern is there's only 3 of them against an alliance of 4. I mean, if Jim does go against it, of course, there's still going to be 4 people there. So I don't know how they're going to do this. Are they going to somehow convince the 4 people to split their vote between, say, Cochran and Dawn? Or maybe they're going to try to get Keith to come over. I don't know if Keith is quite ready to flip. I think Keith will flip on Ozzy at some point. Just don't know if he's quite ready yet. Anyway, the other challenge, the reward challenge / whatever, immunity challenge, when they're holding the poles up with all the weight. I kind of wish that if they're going to keep bringing challenges like this back, I kind of wish they'd find some way to vary it a little bit so it doesn't look like every other time we've seen the challenge. But it is a pretty decent challenge. I'm kind of surprised that Brandon or Jim, especially Brandon, could actually hold up more weight than Rupert. That really shocked me. Of course, this was Heroes versus Villains Rupert, not Pearl Islands Rupert. I think Pearl Islands Rupert could probably have held a whole lot more. And it was great to see the women last as long as they did. I know they didn't have as much weight, but still, 100 pounds after a while, I mean, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, holding up 100 pounds, maybe it's not as much as 200 and all that, but wow, 5-10 minutes after holding up 100 pounds like that, it starts to hurt. It really does. So kudos to Stacey and Dawn for doing so well in that challenge. Although I have to say that Stacey, maybe she did well in that challenge, but she's kind of a fool in the game. Edna came to her and she was saying, basically we're on the bottom of the totem pole. Let's do something, and Stacey didn't believe it. And she just like, Stacey, do you have anything going on with anybody? I mean, maybe she thinks she does, but they haven't really shown it that I've noticed. I'm very tired when I watch it, so maybe I'm missing certain little hints or little things, but I haven't really seen anybody trying to talk to Stacey up until now, and trying to work something out with Stacey other than I think Christina did once. And so Stacey needs to jump on it, at least listen. If somebody approaches you in Survivor, at least listen to what they have to say, and make them think that you're going along with it. I think that's better than just flat out saying no, I don't want to have anything to do with that. Brandon is just one big mess. If I were there, I'd be wanting to get him out of there. I mean, it's tough enough to be out there with the elements and low on food, low on sleep, low on water and all that stuff, and then to have somebody who is just this drama queen every day. It's like he's angry or he's crying or he's conniving to get rid of people who don't really need to go yet, and just you can get rid of him. He's a loose cannon. He's not doing anybody any good by keeping him around. I don't know what Coach likes in him. I don't know why Coach wants to keep him around. I don't know if it's because they hit that prayer thing. I don't know. Personally, I mean, my feeling, I understand where Brandon's coming from to a point with the battle of good and evil going on inside you. I think a lot of us feel that from time to time, but the best way to handle something like that, and Brandon is a man of God, so, get alone with God and just deal with it by yourself. You don't have to bring the whole camp into it. Just, deal with it on your own. Go to God and pray and get out of your system, and then come back to the game. I don't know. You don't have to drag your entire tribe into all this chaos going on in your mind. Let's see. They weren't that clear that I noticed. Again, I may have fallen asleep and missed it, but they weren't that clear as to why they were getting rid of Stacey. But I think if you go back a couple of episodes, I think if I remember right, the first or second episode of this season, didn't Coach think that either Stacey or Christina had the immunity idol, or at least the clues, and that's why he was like wanting to get rid of him? He thinks they're too dangerous, and they're not really part of the alliance anyway, so that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I'm not sure why they would have gotten rid of Stacey. She was a strong girl and pretty decent in the challenges, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I loved it when they all wanted to hug Stacey after she got voted off, and she just like walked right by them as if she didn't even see them there, and told Jeff it's all a lie. That was great. As far as Redemption Island now, I think that next week's going to be a good duel. I think that Christina and Stacey both have what it takes to stick around there for a little while. So I think the next duel is going to be pretty intense. I'm not really rooting for either one of them. I'm not a big fan of either one, but I think it's going to be interesting to watch. But I think Stacey would probably be the most interesting to see come back in the game because she is pretty bitter. I think Christina is a little bit, but I think Stacey is a little more angry. So it might be interesting to see her come back into the game. Anyway, if you notice, I keep looking down because I wrote some notes earlier today while I was at work, and I was just kind of going by those. The only other thing I wrote is that I think that Stacey has a pretty good chance of winning at the duels unless it's a puzzle, because I don't think Stacey's good at puzzles. If you remember in the first episode, Coach was trying to do a puzzle and Stacey was shouting out directions on how to do it, and she was getting it really, really wrong. So I'm not sure. If it's a puzzle thing, I think that Christina's got it. If it's anything else, it could be pretty close. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, and I just want to say I really hope that Jim and Cochran and Don are able to overthrow Ozzy or get rid of Elise to, weaken Ozzy's game. That's it. I'll see you next week, Survivor Geeks. Bye.